UFC Fight Night Tybura versus Spivac 2 is taking place this weekend on August 10th. I'm just so excited to be back in the Apex. After all these crowded events, too noisy. So happy we're back in the Apex. What can we do though? Okay, in this video, I'm going to be giving you my lock of the week, my quick breakdown of the whole card, and then my best bets at the end of the video. If you just want to see a certain part, skip ahead. Timestamps are in the description there. Let's take a look about how we did last weekend at UFC Abu Dhabi. Smashed it. Okay, Davison Figueiredo, lock of the card, pulled it off without an ounce of worry apart from the third round. Don't look at that. But he won, so still sitting at a 100% win rate, so can't complain there. The rest of the card though, 9 and 13. To be fair, it should be 10 and 13 because I picked Ferguson. My exact reasoning was he is due for a win. That's it. So, and I even said Chiesa was going to win anyway. So technically 10 and 13, but technically I put it as a pick there. So what can we do? Let's not waste any time. Let's get into my lock of the week. I'm going to be honest, I don't love this card for lock of the week. There is, like, I'm confident in my picks, but am I confident to make it a lock? I'm in real, no. So definitely be careful this week with my lock of the week. You know, I could go Yusuf Salal. I think he's going to win. I'm in pretty high confidence with it, but he's a negative 400, so I don't really want to throw that in there. So right now, I'm going to go with Carol Rosa as my lock, and I'll explain why in a second. But I was debating between Carl Williams, and I'll explain why I didn't go with him. Carol Rosa, she's well-rounded. She is a phenomenal striker. Her last fight against Irene, phenomenal. Like one of the best fights of the year so far. She lost the fight, and in a 3-rounder, she threw over 200 punches. Her boxing, incredible. She has the threat of the takedown as well. So the reason why I'm making her a lock against Patty, oh, how the fuck you say her name? I just think she's more well-rounded. I think the stand-up game is going to be better here, and the threat of the takedown is going to be better. So, yeah, Rosa should get it done. Again, not super confident. If I could make over 1.5 my lock, I definitely could. I mean, if I could, it's my video, but I'm not going to pick a fighter. So, Carl Rosa is it. Carl Williams was also going to be the lock, because again, I think he's going to dictate the fight. The problem is Denise, his opponent, could just knock him out. It's heavyweight, so really one punch is all what it takes there. But yeah, I don't know. I like the side of Rosa just because she has more skills and more technique to get it done. So let's get into my quick breakdown. It's not going to take long because there's only 10 fights on this card. So let's get it done. Let's break down the prelims here. We have Stephanie Lucino taking on Alencar. Don't know how to say her first name, but Alencar. This is a rematch. They fought on the Contender Series. Ended up as a draw because Alencar was winning the first 2 rounds, and then Lucino, his name's bad. Stephanie, that's why I should call her Stephanie. Stephanie didn't give up on herself and got a 10-8 in the 3rd round. So great stuff by her. She doesn't give up on herself. She's a pressure striker. Alencar, she has good takedowns. Problem is, cardio is a little bit worrying. So realistically, either one of these girls could win. I'm going to side on the Stephanie side just because I think that she doesn't give up on herself and she's going to be a pressure striker. So she, you know, I feel like her trajectory right now as her career goes on, just going to be better. So going to go with Stephanie there. Kind of low confidence. Don't really trust it that much. Next up, we have Yusuf Zalal taking on Jarno Aarons. I like Zalal. He has the ability to control pace, distance, range, same thing. But technical striker, he has the threat of the takedown. Overall, very solid guy, and he's very hungry right now. He got cut from the UFC. He's back again, and he seems to be pulling it together. So I like that from him. Good energy, good mindset, you know. Taking on Jarno Aarons, he's a brawler. There is no kind of real technique, but that being said, though, he is tough. So hopefully Zalal doesn't overlook Aarons as just being some weak guy, because that is literally the furthest thing away from him. So gonna go with Zalal. I just think he's more technical, and hopefully he can get that done. If it does become into a brawl, though, I don't know. Aarons is a dog. So Zalal pretty like medium to high confidence, I would say. But just be careful on that one. Next up, Jonathan Denise taking on Carl Williams. Again, Carl Williams should get it done. He has more tools to get it done, and he should be able to control which way this fight goes. If he wants to take it to the ground, he will. If he wants to stay striking, he will. Denise, pretty much one shot. If he lands one shot, that could just win in the fight. Apart from that, I don't know. I just don't think he's got it in him. So pretty confident in Carl Williams. Again, he was going to be my lock. It's just the fact of it's heavyweight, so one shot is all it takes. So if you're going to play this one, if you want to play both sides, you could do Carl Williams probably by decision and Denise by KO, because that's probably the way it's going to go. Lock of the week, Cara Rosa. She's going to get it done. I've already explained why. Better striker, more skills to get it done. Hopefully she doesn't break my 100% win rate there. Otherwise, sad days. Moving on into the main card, we have Kazama versus Shara. The pick here is going to be Shara. I think he's going to be too fast on the feet, and hopefully he's going to be patient enough to kind of let the knockout come to him, because although Kazama can be tough at times, and has those moments where he can show skill, like for example good takedowns, okay striking as well, he puts himself into very dangerous positions where I think Shara, with the speed and power that he does possess, I think it's kind of a combination. Plus, Kazama is coming off a 2-fight knockout losing streak right now, so not the best. What I would kind of recommend for Shara, keep the distance. Kazama is dangerous at times too. Threaten the takedowns as well, and hopefully the knockout comes to you. Moving on into the next fight, we have Yara Santos taking on Chelsea Chandler. Going with Chandler. I think she's just going to be the bigger woman in the cage there. If I could pick over 1.5 for this fight, and that's my pick only, make money printing. I'll be making more money than Jerome Powell. That being said though, Chelsea Chandler, even though she's the underdog, because she does have flaws in her game, striking mid, takedowns mid, fighter mid, I think she's going to be the bigger girl and be able to hold the clinch and probably squeeze out a nice decision here. Yara Santos, good. She doesn't really give up on herself. She has good striking. She has the ability to get takedowns if she does want, but she does prefer to strike. That being said though, kind of a mid record. I feel like this is the almost like a layup for Chelsea Chandler. That's kind of what it's feeling like to me. So I'm going to pick her to win, even though she is the underdog. Let's make some money. Next up, we have Chris Gutierrez, the veteran himself, taking on Wang Li. Wang Li was in the road to the UFC, I believe. This is very short notice for him. So, he is dangerous. I haven't seen too much of him, so I can't really give like a best breakdown on him. I just don't like the short notice aspect. So I know he has good wrestling and a decent striker as well. That being said though, Chris Gutierrez, we know who he is. He's a veteran of the sport, as Lucas Tracy would say, a crafty vet. Chris Gutierrez, he did suffer a kind of a bad log from what's happening. A bad loss to Song Yadong in his last fight. But I rate Song Yadong. He's a good fighter. So not really that bad of a fight there. Chris Gutierrez, he has good striking, and I feel like he's going to win just because he has that veteran experience to kind of know when to go into the positions, when to leave the positions, and I think he'll be able to land big on the feet and probably squeeze out a nice decision here. If there is a finish, I feel like it's probably going to go from the Wang Li side just because he is younger. Not by much though. Dude's kind of shot out at that point. Next up, we have Danny Barlow versus Nicolay. Nicolay looks scary, but I think same thing, short notice, not going to do him justice. Should Danny Barlow be these odds that he is? Fuck no. He's very untrusted. He just wants to land that big left hand, which he does have power on. I am a believer of Danny Barlow. I think he is going to win this fight. But that being said though, don't be surprised when Nicolay probably puts it on Danny Barlow. I don't know how he's going to react yet. Danny Barlow is a very technical striker, been able to manage distance very well. Nicolay, same thing. I don't know too much about him just because he's short notice, making his debut. So it's sometimes hard to find this kind of stuff on them. But I'm going to go with Danny Barlow because I don't know Nicolay. We shall see, though, for next time I break him down, though. Damon Jackson, don't know what it is. Great guy, I'm sure, in real life. Don't like him as a fighter. Taking on my boy Chepe. Chepe has been an underdog for all of his fights in the UFC. He's finally a favorite. Let's go. Put some respect on Chepe's name. Chepe is one of those guys where he is a jack of all trades, master of none. Okay. That being said, though, even though he's not necessarily a master of anything really, he's solid. He's solid. He's going to have good wrestling. He's going to have good grappling. His striking's good. His BJJ's good. He's just like kind of a complete fighter that you want. You can rely on Chepe. He doesn't give up on himself. He's just a dog. Damon Jackson, good striker, same kind of thing. He can handle himself on the ground as well. I just don't like him. just don't like him. You know, he beat up Jack Manson in his last fight as well. Good win. You know, Jack Manson, at one point we thought he was a great contender. Doesn't seem that way anymore, but still good. You know, he got hairline transplant. I don't think it's matter though. Fuck Damon Jackson. He's not winning. Chepe, he's a dog. He's gonna let him in. Let him. I don't fucking know. Chepe's gonna win. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. Main event time though. Marcin Tybura taking on Serghei Spivac. This is a rematch. Tybura won the first fight. This was like 4 or 5 years ago though. So, you know, Tybura is a 40-year-old. I don't know. Tybura, in my opinion, is a better fighter in this. But on the counter end of things, he is 40 years old. What do you do? Bet the better fighter who's 40 years old, or do you just bet the younger fighter, regardless of how shit they are, but the younger, so they'll be able to move and hopefully move faster, land faster, everything faster. Okay, I'm going to take a risk on the main event here. I'm going to go with Tybura. I just think his ground game is just better, and both guys want to take it to the ground. Both guys have really shit takedowns, so to be honest, it's either going to be just Hail Marys on the feet until one of them lands, and in that point, you know, realistically, either one can go out, or they're going to want to take it to the ground, and I think Tybura just has a better ground game, and especially being 40 with that, age doesn't necessarily matter on the ground as much, you know, because BJJ, it's just all about technical and skills, not necessarily how fast you can put up a movement, you know, where in striking, speed is everything. Speed is everything. So I'm going to go with Tybura mainly because of that reason, but do not be surprised if he gets chinned. He's 40 years old. He could just get hit with a jab and go, just stiffen up and be done for. So, yeah, Tybura is the pick. Let's move on to the best bets, though. All right, some of the bets I like for this card is Rosa plus Carl in a 2-leg parlay. 2 confident kind of favorites on the card. Should hit. Pretty confident. Some of my other bets is I like Fight does not go the distance for the main event. It's a 5-rounder. Both guys are fat as shit. It's gonna end early, probably in the 2nd or 3rd, I can imagine. Another bet I like is Chris and Chepe. 2 guys that I think do win. You know, confidence level probably medium on this one, so I like pairing like high confidence, medium confidence, and then low confidence all kind of together, you know. Next up, straight up money line for Rosa. She's the lock of the week, so I'm going to do that anyway, regardless of what the odds are. Nice little money line for Chelsea Chandler. You know, she's an underdog, good value there. Rosa plus Chandler over 1.5. I think most of these fights actually go over 1.5, so you should be set there. Another 3-leg parlay is Zalal plus Barlow, so 2 kind of confident favorites. That being said, though, their obviously opponents can change that because they are tough guys that they're facing, but should win. And then plus over 1.5 for Zalal. Aarons is tough, and I don't think Zalal has the knockout power to get him done in that kind of rounds there. I think if anything, it would be later on in the rounds once Aarons getting a little bit more tired. So those are the best bets. Please like and subscribe if you like the videos. And again, once I get the Discord to figure out where to put all my actual bets, I will let you guys know. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.